Hello, 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 hello. My name is Mr. Bryce. I'm with Susquehanna Valley High School here in Concord, New York, and there's my email address. We're doing Unit 6, and even though we're doing pages 9 to 12, yesterday was page 9. Today, we're doing page 10 because it's a little bit long. We're going to be factoring trinomials, and it's going to be all the way from page 9 to page 20. So, in the last exercise, the coefficients was just 1, but now we're going to be doing the coefficient, the A number is not 1. Now, even though this says using I don't think so, we do not guess and check here in math class. Okay, so to refresh our memory, we have to know what A, B, and C are. A is 3, that's the number right in front. B is the number with just the X, and C is negative 40 because there's a minus sign right there. Now, what we're doing is we're doing the X box method. So X, and on top is A times C. 3 times negative 40, negative 120. And then down in the bottom goes B. The B number is 19. Now what we have to do is we have to think of, this is the product, so product, and this is the sum. What two numbers multiply to be negative 120 and add up to 19? Since I have absolutely no idea what numbers multiply to be negative 120 and add up to be 19, I grabbed my graphing calculator, I hit y equals, and I did negative 120 divided by x. I hit second, table, and this is what I got. So now I have a table of numbers that multiply to be 120. Now all I have to do is check to see which ones add up to be positive 19. These add up to be positive 14, negative 5, and 24 add up to be positive 19. So I take negative 5x and 24x. Make the box. We did the x, now we do the box. Remember, the 3x squared goes in the upper right-hand corner. The negative 40, because it's the c term in the quadratic and standard form, goes in the bottom right-hand corner. Then, I like to line up negatives horizontally, the 5x, and then the 24x. Now we have to think of factors, so grab our little smiley face. What's the greatest common factor of 3 and 24? That's 3. What's the greatest common factor of x squared and x? X. What's the factor, because these are negatives, so what's the least common factor of negative 5 and negative 40? Well, that's negative 5, okay? It's not 1, okay? It's not going to be positive 5. So we have negative 5x, no x. Now we do some checking. Well, nothing to check yet. So 3x times what is 3x squared? X. 3x times what is 24x? 8. Now we do our checking. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. Checks. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. Checks. So now we can write down our answer. X plus 8 in parentheses, touching 3x minus 5. So there are the, there we factored it. Let's try to do this one. So the first thing that I notice is that the 2 and the 18 are both even. I checked to see if it's the greatest common factor, but 15 is not even, so we don't have a greatest common factor here. So now I write down A equals 2, B equals negative 15, C equals 18. We do our X on top is the product of A times C, which is positive 36. And then on the bottom is just the C number, which is positive 18. Now, what numbers multiply to be 36 and add up to be 18? Have a sum of 8. Hopefully you guys were screaming for a second there, saying that, hey, Mr. Bryce, this is not supposed to be C, that's supposed to be the B number. Now, let's see what two numbers multiply to be 36 and add up to be negative 15. We grab our calculators. If you don't know what it is, you hit y equals. We do 36 divided by x. We look at our table and we see that it is negative 3 and negative 12. Negative 3x, negative 12x. Now we do our box. In the upper left-hand corner goes 2x squared. In the lower right-hand corner goes positive 18. And then, since they're both positive, it doesn't matter where we put the negative 3x and the negative 12x. Now, what I'm going to want to do is, this is just speaking through experience. We have the negative 3x, the 18, and the negative 12. Since both of these are negative, okay, I know that a negative times a negative is going to be a positive. So I'm going to put a negative here. What we have, what's the greatest common factor of 3 and 18? That's a 3. What's the greatest common factor between 2x squared and 12x? That is 2x. Now 2x times what is 2x squared? That's just an x. 2x times what is negative 12x? That's a negative 6. Now check. Negative 6 times 3. Oh, I did say I wanted to put a negative there. Times negative 3 is positive 18. And negative 3 times x is negative 3x. So they do check. X minus 6 and 2x minus 3 are the answers. Again, remember, if I'm going too fast, you can either listen to it again or ask questions. So the teacher that made this worksheet said that finally the hardest trinomials to factor are those with leading coefficients that are not prime. Okay, because there are a lot more guessing. Well, guess what? No pun intended, sorry. We're not going to be guessing until we get it right. A is 15, B is 13, C is 2, X, 15 times 2 is 30, B goes down there, the 13 goes down there. Now, what two numbers multiply to be 30 and add up to be 13? Remember, this is the sum. We know that it's 10 and 3, but just to show you, okay, remind you that you can do 30 divided by x, hit the graph, hit the table, and we keep on checking them, and then we see that 10 plus 3 is 13, and 10 and 3 are factors. So we write here 10x and 3x. We draw our box. The 15x squared goes there. The 2 goes there. And then it doesn't matter, 10x and 3x, or it could be 3x and 10x. So what goes into 15 and 3? 3. What goes into x squared and x? X. So that is 3x. What goes into 10 and 2? It's just 2. 3x times what is 15x squared? That would be 5x. 3x times what is 3x? That's 1. And then you check. 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times 1 is 2. So they check. And the answer is 5x plus 1, 3x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different right now. I am going to say that you have to do B, C, and D and hand them in for a paper grade. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me. After we have this paper grade done, you know what your homework is? The next 2 pages. Give you 2 nights to do that. If you have any questions again, make sure that you ask me. I'll see you later.